Nowadays, influencers, actors, actresses, TikTokers, nowadays they look okay in front of the cameras, but behind the cameras, are they really okay? Welcome to the Wayne podcasts. Today, bring your guests, Sybil Colette, the actress of Kina, Maisha Magic, and Lulu, acting as a cop. She's going to talk to us today. Sybil, as an actress, how did you begin? How has been your life behind the cameras? Kindly talk to us.
So my name is Sybil Mukandutie
Yeah.
first. Colette nilianza kutumia because people thought Mukandutie was very hard.
Yes.
So that's like my baptism name. I put it there. Yeah. Yeah, I've been acting for 11 years now and I started in 2015,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
What did I start with? I went to an audition and I'm among the very few people whose first audition becomes their ticket. So the first audition I went to, immediately I got a role. And yeah, it was a series called Majaribu, like back in 2015. It was in Star Times. When Star Times was starting, there was that digital migration.
Yes.
So yeah, that's basically how I started acting though, professionally. Hizi zingine unajua tukiwa high school, definitely you were acting and
Yes.
stuff like that. But then professionally was 2015 through an audition, yeah.
Well, I've heard of Majaribu in 2015. Actually, I was in class 2. By then, I had no interests with movies, acting. But actually, I was inspired by one of you. Actually, last year, watching Lulu in Kina Maisha Magic, you are there among the people who inspired me a lot. But my question is, you went for audition. Of course, unajua umepata na celebrities, kuna wenye umewadmire, influencers kwa audition. How did you feel meeting the one?
That time hakukuwa na influencers by that. I feel like hiyo ni genre imekuja kukuwa embraced a bit much later in the entertainment industry. So what happened is at that time you were seeing actors that you've been seeing on TV, like people that were in the shows that were well known that time, zile za Citizen and TV, because that was like the main platform. Hata Maisha Magic haikuwa. So of course kwa line uta panic because you start doubting yourself because umepatana na watu wenye ni superstars. But I remember I just called my dad, and actually the first day I went as the last person because I wasn't sure that I wanted to attend it. So I went as the last person at like 4 p.m. na huko akifunga nikibeg huyo mtu wacha tu ni audition, akaniangalia akanipatia tu chance nika audition. So I didn't think I'd even be called back. Then when I was shortlisted and called back is when I found everybody else and I panicked. I had arrived at like 9 a.m. I still waited. I auditioned at 5 p.m. because nilikuwa nashinda nikirudi nyuma kwa line. You can imagine. But then now once it's nilipata chance yangu kuingia, I just did it. I don't even know how it happened, but it just happened. When I was auditioning, was so impressed. She told me to go get a co-actor. We come do again. We went. And that was it. So when I came for the third stage, because there are usually very many stages. It's not like a one-time thing, not all the times. When I came for the third stage, which is called a read-through, if you'll be able to pursue that in case you'll ever have an interest, read-through is now when you're going through the script, yeah? Just to see how the chemistry is merging between the different actors and stuff. Yeah, that's when I confirmed that I got it because we were like 3 people auditioning for the same role. And she's like, I remember what you did in the audition and I liked it. So yes, you're going to get the part. It was interesting. I was in first year. Then nimeingia to Parklands campus because I was doing law. And then now here I have an acting gig. So I just kept juggling the both of them.
Wow, interesting. Ulipata audition ukakatazwa, then you ukabeg. Wow, then I think luck is on your side because mtu kama mimi nimeenda tu auditions wakanikataza. Either because of the age or I don't know what.
Are you sure you have the right tools?
Yeah, I have the right tools. Confidence. It's the first thing we are told actually in literature. Najua umefanya high school literature. Actually by then nimemaliza form 4 juzi. And of course, you're told by our literature teacher, of course, unafaa kuwa na confidence. Going to the stage, you need confidence. But I do not know why. Like, the other day niliambiwa, I saw in a WhatsApp group audition ya kuingia Lulu. I tried it. I sent my 5-minute video. Kanishinda. So I went to one of your colleagues. Nikamwambia hii imenishinda. I don't know what to do. So then my question is, of course, najua, I believe when you people mkiingia acting, of course, najua mtakuwa famous because you're being exposed by the cameras, the movies, the role that you're taking. So my question is, how did you feel after, like, let's say getting like those many followers? How did you feel getting like unajulikana? Of course, that flashy lifestyle. How did you feel?
Actually, don't like it. I don't even want to be known. If it is possible to just act and actually not be known, I would take that any day. Because I am not an influencer. I am an actor. There's a very big difference. Nowadays, people confuse the two because everybody, you meet them on social media. But people are doing very differently. Because now for me, mine is mainly professional acting. When you're looking at a professional actor and you're looking at a skit actor who's doing influencing, those are two very different genres. And ours doesn't have that fame as perhaps people presume it does, unlike the social media one. So for me, it doesn't actually matter. And if I would actually have it without not getting known, I would take it anytime. Because I have found myself in spaces where you get someone and they're like, they want us to do a skit and stuff like that. And I don't usually know how to do that because as an actor unanzanga could get into character. These ones, they don't need you to do that. They just need you to be ready and go. So that readiness and going is something I'm also learning because you keep realizing those are different genres. So acting for social media is very different from acting for TV or even acting for stage. Acting for stage and acting for TV has so much preparation, has scripts, has monologues. That's why I'm asking you. Do you have your tools ready? When you're needing to audition as a professional actor, you will need a headshot. You will need a full photo. You will need a monologue. Maybe not even one, two, three that are showing you in different characters. So that when a casting director tells you, Wayne, I need your details now, you're not sending them your WhatsApp profile photo. It is a professional headshot, a professional full photo, and a good monologue. So kwa hiyo audition yenye ulifanya, ulikuwa na hizo vitu?
Okay, personally sikuwa na professional photo, but monologue nilituma. And of course I went with the confidence and I was like, najua this will be my road. But of course sikuwa na professional photo. And of course your director anakaa a bit strict.
As he should be. Because we cannot just keep treating the industry as something that people just come in because they feel like. It's like wanting to start this studio and then huna hata camera, tutaanzaje bro? You get, there has to be something that you have. So that's why I'm telling you, if it's a path that you need to pursue professionally, then you will need to get those tools. Unaweza anza na hiyo professional photo,
Yes.
a professional full body photo, and then a good monologue. So monologue unajua kwenye unaweza pata at least kwenye ulikuwa umetoa ile ingine.
Yeah. Of course, let me say, I know acting comes with money. A lot of money. Ama nimedanganya?
Ningependa kuiona.
Okay, that's personally I believed. I believe because I had one of your colleagues, Aleko, and I received 1 million per day. That's a rumor that I had yesterday, actually.
I don't know where you're getting this information from, Wayne. I'm a bit concerned, to be honest.
Okay, acting really comes with money. Of course, the kuonekana kwa camera, it comes with money. True.
Everything that you do can come with or without money, depending on how dedicated you are, whether you're a teacher, whether you're an actor, whether you're an MP, whether you sell vegetables, it doesn't actually matter. The moment the camera is placed, it doesn't change the trajectory of what you intend to achieve. It just, hiyo ni kazi yako. Unaget, hiyo ni job venye mtu anamkanga anaenda kwa ofisi, hiyo ndio ofisi yangu. It doesn't make anything different with regards to that. Of course, now with being put in a platform where you can be seen, it could open up more opportunities for you depending on what paths you choose to, to pursue.
What I've noticed with actors and actresses, si wengi tena. Si watu wote ni watu tu. But I've seen you guys mnachukua ile path ya let's live our lives. You're not those type of loud influencers.
You see, the difference, I'm aware the gap comes in between is like I'm telling you, like if you check even like 10 years ago, influencing wasn't as big. So most people who started pursuing acting at that particular point pursued just acting. When the world shifted to social media, especially after like COVID, because that's when people realize social media has a bigger opening, some people have chosen to also transition into influencing, which is a choice or depending on what brand you're choosing to pursue. Like I'm currently working on a page called Orange Matters. And when it picks up and stuff, I do not know if I'll become an influencer, and that's the word that I'll use, but I'm going to be using my digital platform to also elevate that. You get. So I could be an actor and I choose to also be an influencer, like someone like Stephanie Mushiri. She's also an influencer and she's also an actor. That's someone who's doing both because those are two very different fields. It is not a result of the other or a reason for the other. It just comes as a different path that you choose. How you can be a photographer and also, maybe a sound person, and you still do both. Yeah, it's more like that. So there are influencers and there are actors, and there are actors who also choose influencing. I know you know them, Tokodi, Celestine,
Yes.
Chico. Yes.
Actually, personally, umesema kuhusu Celestine. There's one thing I've noticed. Celestine and you, I'm not okay, sitawafananisha, but of course, there's that chilling character mko now. And I've really admired it. And of course, I've seen Celestine is also she's also a mental health advice or something. Or of course, an actress, and of course, a brand influencer of Velvetra. Well, of course, the question is, of course, mesema upendi influence, upendi kuwa influential. You just love being an actress, and that I've seen, yes, the Orange Matters pia na hosts young creatives, right? So of course, my question is, how has been your life behind the acting, chenye una post? Is it like that? Like whatever you are posting on Instagram, on TikTok, yenye watu wanaona. Of course, there are those watu wachache wanakuona. I'm one of them, following you and of course checking up on everything you post. Of course, I'll either like or comment. Now my question is, whatever you're posting on Instagram or on TikTok, like, is it real?
Is it real? It is. Is it my personal life? Not all of it. Am I using my social media to post something that is relevant to whatever it is that I maybe want to talk about? Then that will be real. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're making sense. Nakuelewa.
Exactly. So I do not know about other people if they post whatever is fake for the sake of clout and all that. That's them. But also, again, someone chooses whatever is very strategic for whatever it is they're chasing. If my brand involves anything to do with photography, everything I'll be posting will be related to leading there.
Yes.
You get, it's a personal choice and a professional choice that someone makes when they choose to post on social media, depending on the target audience they're targeting and whatever it is they intend to achieve.
After hearing all those, of course, hearing like the rumors of these actors and influencers and blah blah blah, of course, sometimes even natoka in terms of experience, yeah. Sometimes I've also been there, by the way. You have your own problems, but unacheka na watu. Ever since nimeingia Instagram, sometimes I could post fake things, ndo nionekane I'm there, but in real sense I'm not there. That is when I was in high school. You ever feel like people are not actually okay these days, or is it just me?
It's a fact. People are not actually okay these days. I think everybody is in a situation where they're going through something. So kwa hivyo sahi, I do not think people are okay, especially with the state of the economy.
You're definitely right, but your state economy tusifike hapo. I know where we'll get into hapo. Wacha tunyamazie.
So
But of course we'll want to have a conversation about the economy, but
not for now.
naelewa stories za Subaru.
Naelewa.
Why do you think everyone looks like fine online but real life feels different?
Because naturally, when people choose to step out of the house or step out wherever, you want to give the world an impression of you that you choose. You get what I mean? And utakangi kukaa kaa uko poa. Nani natakanga atembe tu akae kaa yuko sawa. Those ones who actually do that, tunawaitanga wazimu. Unaona kwa barabara.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I feel like if everybody had the chance to just walk exactly as they are, maybe most of us would be in that category. So you step out and you choose to put up a face. Si lazima ikuwe ni kupretend. Inaweza kuwa tu, it is what is necessary for you to get through that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel there's too much pressure in this current generation and these current influencers. Do you think that's true?
The pressure is coming from the fact that people are obsessed with what they see and they want to live whatever it is that they are seeing without even sometimes thinking about whether it is true or not. And that's why when you ask the question, is it usually true? Sometimes some of these things are not true. The people that are writing those blogs could be doing it for clickbait.
Yes.
People that are posting photos could be editing them, could be doing Photoshop. It's all just trying to show a certain illusion. And unfortunately, most of us who get trapped in the world of checking what other people are doing on social media without understanding that other aspect, unaanza kujipatia necessary pressure because you see a 20-year-old like you who's already doing so much on social media as per what they have chosen to post, whether it's real or not. And you forget that your journey is different. Unaanza kufuata hiyo yake.
Yes. My next question is, what do you think people are struggling with right now?
Pesa na peace of mind.
Exactly.
Watu wangepatiwa tu hizo vitu mbili, I think people would be living longer. It's just money that people are looking for. Money to be able to be stable, to afford the basic life commodities like food, shelter, good housing, your children get education. Those are the basic things that people are struggling with money. And with those things comes peace of mind. Because now I don't have to keep worrying about natoa wapi job, nitafanya nini. So both of those things, money and peace of mind.
Okay, story ya pesa, clock it. Hapo tumeelewana na wewe. This is story ya pesa, yes. Have you ever had a moment where you aren't okay but no one noticed?
Of course, like now.
Really?
But yeah, there are so many moments that I think everybody has that people do not notice.
So to our generation, me and you, najua we ni Gen Z bado ama ni millennial.
We, inategemea.
Okay, anyway.
But yeah.
Yes, you might be older than me, but haunishindi miaka nyingi. But then my question is, do you think social media to our generation, do you think are making things worse or better?
It depends. For me,
Yeah.
I think it's making things better if you use it properly.
Yeah.
It has opened up the world of advertising. It has opened up the world of people getting to know each other. It has opened up more opportunities for people. So if you look at it from that perspective, then it is positive. But if you look at it from the point that you approached this particular instance and this situation from the word go, a point of pressure, then you will die of that pressure because the pressure is always getting worse. People are doing big things and inashindi could get into you. Perhaps I would not be able to understand what it means like to grow into that generation because me time yangu wenye nilikuwa that particular age nilikuwa tuna Facebook na Facebook haikuwa na pressure hivyo sana hiyo time. Ilikuwa tu whether upost picha poa or not. But sahi wakati unaona mtu anatengeneza pesa juu hiyo picha, the pressure is definitely different. So it all depends on how it gets used.
Sometimes somebody will not understand what they're feeling. Have you ever felt like that? You do not understand your feeling.
Yeah.
Definitely. When you're mwanadamu, so of course.
There have been moments when you don't understand what it is that you're feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you need to be able to at least figure something out to do in those particular moments. At least uweze ku understand what the purpose of that particular moment was.
Do you think people fake happiness or it's naturally comes?
Both. The people that have been able to attain happiness. You don't attain happiness because there's a lack of sadness. You attain happiness because you choose to be happy.
Exactly.
That's the difference. And the other thing is people are faking it. Yes, because nobody wants to be sad all the time, despite life being sad for you. So you can choose to at least focus on trying to be happy even if you're being fake.
Yes. Let's now jump to faith. I know you're a Christian. I've realized faith isn't always easy. Have you ever felt like God is silent? Like umekuwa kwa hiyo situation na way that una feel hapa God ako silent.
For me personally, no. I've never felt like God has been silent to me or for me. I am just growing and understanding. The more you keep growing, the more you keep understanding that spiritual journey is something that you need to go peke yako. Kama venye uta grow up peke yako, your body will change differently. So will your emotional mind. So will your mental state. So will your spiritual journey. So every single day you'll be making those choices whether to keep pursuing it or not. But I have never personally had a moment when I felt that God was silent on me.
What keeps you grounded when life doesn't make sense?
God. Saizi naweza sema the gym. What else? I think just taking a day at a time and hope.
Well, you have heard from the actor, yeah? When you have stress or when you have depression, I was actually advised, and I'll advise you people, visit the gym. It helps a lot, by the way. Visit the gym, hope, and God. Those are three important things, but Mungu mbele. God is the first person. Now my other question, do you think people get checked on enough? Have you ever had that person and check up enough?
And so people
Yes.
do have different ways of dealing with such issues, kwa sababu kila mtu ana deal na shida zake. So kuna kwanga na ile expectation utatoa ya watu wengine kushinda wakikushughulikia. It will be your own responsibility to check up on yourself, and when you feel like you need help, to reach out. I'm not saying ati watu wasijilock out, but ukiplace your expectation unaweza kosa kuona.
Yeah.
Utakuwa na feel victim. Huyu hata hajaona nateseka, huyu hajaona na sijui nateseka ka hujaniambia. So it is your responsibility to actually do that.
Yeah.
And reach out when it's necessary.
Why do people choose to suffer in silence?
Because some situations you just feel like other people would never be able to understand it, or the
Yes.
solutions that they would give would not be practical solutions to you. Ni kama for example nikwe shule alafu si mnakumbuka venye mlikuwa mnaambiwa kila mtu lazima aweze kujibu hii, lazima aweze kujibu hii, lazima aweze kujibu hii, because that's like a formula set. But perhaps me si understand your subject hata nifanye nini.
Yes.
And you just feel like nobody else can understand you better.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that would make people choose to suffer in silence, or the lack of information as to how they can get help.
Yes. And my other question, in that situation, I have seen many. They do suffer in silence, but they still continue walking. To me, it's hope. You, what do you think personally?
It's courage.
Courage.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know you have been in high school, and of course, there are these circumstances you have faced peer pressure. True or false?
I think I was the influencer. Mi ndio nilikuwa na peer pressure watu.
Of course.
But yeah.
Yeah. Lazima, whether you are an influencer or an actor, of course umekuwa shule. So how have you dealt with peer pressure in school?
Aki nikijibu hii swali nitakuwa nakaa kama mtu mbaya. Watu wenye wananijua high school watajua nadanganya.
Sema
But
ikutoke.
anyway. So how did I deal with it? It never used to get to me because I was the one that was giving people pressure.
Yes.
So but what I can say, the chances are the moments that I have felt like I have dealt with it, especially it was after high school, not during high school per se, after high school when sasa you're starting to figure yourself out. What career am I gonna choose? What path am I gonna do? Which people am I going to hang out with? And then now, like you said, there's now social media. So ukiangalia pia unashindwa nitaanza wapi, nitafuata wapi. I understand that. How do you deal with it? You have to understand yourself and you have to accept yourself first. This is what my parents have. This is where I come from genuinely. This is what I can be at this particular moment. Hata nitake nikuwe na iPhone 17 sai sina.
Yeah.
Siwezi pata unless tuanze kuuza nyumba. Once you already accept that part of yourself, then inakuwa easy. When you notice, like let's say you found yourself in a crowd and you know the things that maybe they are doing are not things that you would personally do, then that's a point for you to hold back. But if you feel like you want to be experimental and all that, because that's what peer pressure does, then at least jua limits zako. Otherwise, you will end up getting lost and then you will fall on the other side of peer pressure, which is negative. Because there can be positive peer pressure.
Okay, personally, of how I've also dealt with peer pressure, yeah, it's to pray, of course, because peer pressure inakushika easily.
Very.
Yeah, inakushika easily.
And it's just life. It's a state of self-discovery. Unajijua tu leo, napenda hii, yeah.
And then I noticed one disadvantage with peer pressure is, let's say you're a friend. Actually, let me say something about church. Unajua juzi I was in church and our preacher alituambia one thing. Umeenda kwa jirani, tuseme nyinyi mna fridge, maybe you cannot afford it. So mona neighbor akona fridge, of course you'll go to your parents like, mimi nataka fridge. Na uta insist unataka fridge. No, but chenye ujwini you are admiring, labda huyu bwana ako first stage of Illuminati, ameambiwa you know what you have to do for you to be a billionaire, sacrifice your wife. You are in the first stage, now I told the second stage. So you are told, do not admire whatsoever. Whatever your friend has, you should admire. And of course, that's what I'm going to tell the audience. One, you pray. Number two, have self-control. And of course, in high school, of course, ushaikuwa in this situation about you have avoided peer pressure.
Okay, but sija experience hiyo enye unasema like nika feel like put aside or stuff like that. Ndio nimesema kujibu hiyo swali inaweza ni place on a very different eye, but to be honest sijawahi experience.
But sami kutoka, you're in an open space, you know, in this huku tunaongea, huku tunatoa roho.
I never experienced that in high school, at least. Maybe after high school, and it was nothing to do with my background. Yeah.
Of course, at some point, so me personally, me face rejection. They're like, we're still naive when bado ni mtoto.
Oh, but rejection and utaface kwa hii industry, definitely utaface rejection mingi kwa sababu ukienda audition and they tell you no, wewe unajua umegive your all, it's not what they're looking for. Sometimes I've even been rejected on the grounds of height. It's not anything I can change. If that character deserves a tall person and me I'm short, sasa nitafanya nini?
Yeah,
You feel bad. It's not easy.
No.
There are days that you go home and you cry and you wonder if you could have done a better job. Maybe you could have gotten the role, or if you had your lines better, you could have gotten the role. But unajua what they say, kama ni yako ni yako,
yeah.
na yenye ni yako haitakupita. Once you live on those two things, I think it will be a bit easier to handle rejection.
Yeah. One thing to the audience, najua some of you are in high school. Vile tunatona sisi wawili tutawashindia miaka, but I'm not that old than she is. Ama pa nimeongea vibaya.
No. With age comes experience.
Okay, age comes with experience. Whatever nitaambia high schoolers, but one, have self-control. From what she has said, one, have self-control. Number 2, rely on God. Me personally, have relied on God. Number 3, jiangalie wewe pali uko. Stop looking at others. Have you had the moments that you have struggled with faith?
I think I've had those moments that I've struggled with faith, but it hasn't been because I doubted that God exists. It has been because pengine the circumstance that you're going through at that particular point is painful, that's such that it blinds your faith towards God. Ama una feel kama nitoe kwa hii uchungu haraka haraka ishe, like whatever it is that you're going through at that particular point, like I need you, God, to come through like right now. We've all had those moments, but you know the good thing about those moments is that once it's actually over, you realize that God was always there. You at that particular point ni kuona huku unaiona because of other things. So yeah, so that has been my time. I have been Sybil Colette. I have been with Wayne at Wayne Podcast. It's the first episode, so I know there's much more things to come, and we're looking forward to seeing how you're gonna grow and keep walking this journey. So usiogope, ya kwanza is fine. How many more are you gonna do? That's what is gonna matter.
Yes.
Sawa?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
This has been my first episode with Sybil Colette, an actress, an advocate, and a brand influencer. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and for your time. Hopefully, we'll meet again and talk a lot. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. This is the Wayne Podcast. See you guys next time. Cheers.